Okay, guys. The first thing I want to do is, well, I did my edging and I stitched pearls over the trim, the yellow trim that I picked out. So I did that both top and bottom and all the way on both ends. All right, so now I want to put down my innards. So I have 3 papers here, and I took the papers and did them on this side, made a mark, and I just made sure I flipped it over here, and I made sure that the mark that I did was going to fit. Because sometimes, you know, one's a little larger than the other, but it worked out just fine for me to do it that way. Sometimes it doesn't. Now, this center section, I don't know if I have enough. I don't think I did. Yeah, see, I had enough. I could connect both of them. However, I want to put my pages down first, and then I'll put these on afterwards. So I'm going to cut this where it's going to come just, about an inch maybe past the gusset where the spacing between the front cover and the spine and the back cover and the spine. So I'm just going to make a little mark, but this way all of them are the same height. So let's get this cut. All right, and then the first thing I do is set it down where I know I'm going to want it, and I take my bone folder and I just start getting this crease in there. And I find this easier than when I'm going to lay it down. You know, you get it in the grooves right and you're good to go. Okay, so there I have that. So it looks like it needs a little bit more in here. And I like to get it against both sides of the chipboard. So that it really gets down in there. Okay. So, see how I have both of those nice areas? All right. So now I am going to put, let's see, I have an inch. Whatever you have, I'm going to cover the whole thing. Because this is what's going to be holding your pages down, as well as we're going to use some brads. But, you know, I'd rather be safe and make sure that this book is going to last for generations. That is the idea as far as I'm concerned. And then once I get everything down, I will burnish. I know this is not exciting. I hope everybody has been having a good week. This is actually, I guess today is Sunday. Pretty bad. When I was taking care of my parents before they passed on, that was the question of the day. What is today? What is the day? They didn't want to know what the date was, didn't really care. You know, the 3rd or the 14th. It didn't really matter to them. But they wanted to know if it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know. And it just astonished us that, you know, they didn't keep up with the time. And Boy, when you're retired, you really don't keep up with the time. What day it is. You don't really care. They're all the same. Unless you got an appointment coming up or something, you know, then you got to kind of pay attention. All right. So I have chosen this as my front and this is my back. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull these back a little bit because I think it'll get onto them. Every place that I changed my thread out, I think that one's fine. I put down some tape just to make sure that I was going to be, you know, getting that really nicely. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the back cover score tape that I have against the very edge, and then I take the center score tape that I have in the gusset, and I'm going to take off my first piece of score tape on my sheet here. Okay, and I know this is basically sideways. You're not going to see much of it. It was just to get a little bit of color in between the pages. So that's the only reason for that. Now, I'm holding this side up with the sticky part. This side is not in, you know, no stickiness. And I'm setting it back down where I'm going to want it. And then I'm going to push this down into the gully. There we go. And then I'm going to come and get this down into the gully. And then I'm going to push this there. All right. So now I'm going to fold this back. And I'm going to take this piece off and this piece off and this piece and the next one, if I can get it. Come on. There we go. All right, and again, I'm going to start. And then I'm just going to carefully push this over. And I'm going to go ahead and push that down in there again. There's no sticky going on just yet. A little bit. But I can still get in here and get my tape off of my gully that I had on there. And I'm going to get this last piece of tape here. And I'm going to go ahead and take this last piece of tape off. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is push against the spine. Get out of there. And then I'm going to push against the front piece of chipboard. And then I'm going to lay this down. There we go. I'll just lay that piece back. Now make sure, I'm trying to be very careful on my beads. So I'm trying not to crush everything, but you do need to get in there and get this down. It's a little bumpy because of the stitching, but just laying here looking at it, I can't tell. All right, and then this should There we go. And remember, your page, you don't need to take this page and flatten it. It doesn't ever go that far. You know, it's a book. You don't, you're going to have all the pages on it. It's never going to go much farther than, you know, than this. So you don't have to worry about that. If this is not laying down properly when you are opening, you know, closing it up, then just give it a little bit more work. Okay, and this way, see, this way looks really good. This way was a little not liking it, but it is fine now. So now I want to put my pages in. Okay. Now, I wanted this, so this page, I keep wanting to call it a signature, but it's not a signature. But this page, I am going to just come up off of the bottom about 1/8 of an inch. And that should give me about 1/8 of an inch at the top. Okay. Now, the center one is what I'm going to start with. And I'm going to get my, let's see. Yep. I need a ruler. I swear. I was talking to a gal on my Facebook page, and she said that her scissors keep running away from her. And I said, I've got my scissors pretty well trained. It's my ruler that keeps running away from me. I don't know. I've got 2 of them. Actually, I've got 3. I've got my centimeter ruler, my Tim Holtz new one, and my Tim Holtz old one. And, oh, voila. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I want to find my center here. And I'm going to come up about 1/8 of an inch off the page. There we go. And I am going to make a 1/2 inch mark. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. I'm going to make a 1/2 inch mark right where I'm going to want that front page. And then I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch and make a 1/2 inch mark. And then this way I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch and make a 1/2 inch mark. Okay, does that make sense? I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oop, right here. A 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. If you can see those little marks right above my fingernail with my horrible nail polish. My nails, I keep saying, oh my gosh, I have so got to get these nails done, and you know, who's got the time? I obviously don't. Let me get this centered, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm going to make a 1/2 inch mark, miss a 1/4, and then a 1/2 inch mark, go jump a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch mark. Okay, so that should make it fairly easy for us to get these in. So I'm going to open. I'm going to open these buggies up here, and I'm going to put some tape on them right down the center of our gusset. Cut it up here at the top. I'm going to take a little bit of glue. Wakey, wakey glue. Let's go ahead and get this off. I have so enjoyed working with this paper. Now I printed it on, actually on Whisper White, which is a Stampin' Up, and it's quite expensive, but it was the only paper I had that was like a really good white. So since then I have purchased some other, and I'll show it to you in a little while. It was very inexpensive compared to some of them. So, and I like it. It's not, it's a 65-pound weight. So it's great for printing. And, okay, so, but I'll show you in a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that just on the edge there. And I want to make sure I'm getting it straight. And you know me and straight. But I do believe that I have it very well. Okay. So that looks good on that side. And it looks good on this side. So I'm now going to open it up and burnish this down. And I know that I did all of these, which I don't know where the one out of here went, but I did all of these strips. But since I'm using this, since I'm using part of this, I'm going to go ahead, and I know this is exactly the same length because I cut it off of here. I'm going to go ahead and make my strips out of this. So let me get my pencil. My pencil and my ruler are the things that run away from me so much. I thought that was so cute when she wrote that. Oh, okay. Let me get this. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And that is also going to help. And just glue the edges. Don't glue down through the center. I must be getting some kind of goober or something in there. Let's see. This will work. Just start it. Get it in the center, Lisa. There we go. And just lay it right down all the way up to the top. And burnish either with your finger or your scoring tool, whatever is going to work for you the best. So there is page 1 in. All right, so let's, well, it's the center page, so it's actually page 2. And then we're going to just check this one out. And that gives us a nice 1/4 inch in between the pages, which is good. Good, good, good. Okay. So let's open this one up. I've got a lot of little fussy cutting things out for the cover. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the outside. And is this the one I used? No, this is the one. This one is the 3/8 inch because this is a 1/2 inch gusset here. Burnish. There we go. Pokey tool. So see, right now, all this is 2 layers of that envelope, and it is just a paper envelope. So that's why I am doing both the glue and score tape on this side, plus putting another sheet, you know, the other strip on the other side, and then we're going to also secure it in another manner as well. So hang on for that. Okay. Lay it down on my bottom mark. And line myself up with my top mark. Both left and right. Make sure you don't look like you're a little uneven. All right, I'm going to lay this down, finger burnish, and there we go. Let me get my paper and get another strip. All right, let me cut that. And glue it down. Remember, just try and do the outside. I know they're thin little strips, but it will make the next step easier. Okay. Center it. Match it up to your bottom. And it should go all the way up to the top just perfectly, since I cut them all together. Okay. So there it is so far. And we've got lots of good room in there. Lots of good room. Okay. Now, I'm going to do that with the last one. And then I'll come back and show you the next step. All right, guys, I'm going to try and rush through this because I have 8 minutes left before I have to download my camera. So this is what I have done. I have brads in the centers. And I'm going to show you. I took a strip that is exactly the same height. I wrote T at the top, so I would always have it at the right spot. And I made my holes where I want them. And then I have just used this on all the pages for my template to get my holes. And I just push through, so I'm making a point, you know, a hole, so that I can see where everything's going. Now, because I put the pearls on here, I had to make sure that my top and bottom one were in far enough. And then I come back through and I make the holes a little bigger. Just like this. Super simple, but this is just going to be another way. And those of you that follow me have seen that I've been kind of doing this on most of my mini albums now. It just seems to me like it's a, you know, one more step that's really going to keep the pages in place. And then you just drop your I'm so sorry. My allergies have really been kicking up. You just drop your brad in there and open it up, and then use something to push it down so it's nice and tight on there. And I've just been doing the same design, you know, with each one of these inside the 3 pages that we put in. And then in between those, I'm not doing this. No reason for it. So, but that is all I've done. And I don't want to run out of time here. Got 5 more minutes left. And I do need to tell you that if you haven't done anything yet on this and you're just watching me, excuse me, you know the hidden hinge, the double hidden hinge where you have a little extra, like a 1/2 inch extra. I would have made that into this because there are a couple of pages that don't want to lay down very flat, like this one, because it's very thick. And so it's not laying down really flat. Where if I would have left myself a little bit of a hinge beyond this gusset, it would have been able to lay down much nicer. So that would be something that I would change. And I think what I will do when I come back from downloading all of this onto my computer. Oh, that one's just not thick enough. I will show you a way of doing the envelopes to make sure that you will have a nicer finished product than the one I have. I mean, it still works, and, you know, don't we always have this kind of issue with your books sometimes? But, oh, come on and get in there. I made the hole super big, but it just does not want to go through. It's bending my little tines. Well, anyway, you guys get the picture here, and I am down to 3 minutes left. So, I will see you all again, and thank you for watching, and I hope everybody is enjoying our collaboration. Please make sure you go over and check Teri's out. She has been thrilled with the response that she's gotten, and I have been too. So all of my tweezers, all my tools are out in the other room. Let me make this bigger yet again. It just does not want to go through there. And that's another reason why not putting the glue in the center. It just makes it a little bit harder. There we go. A little bit harder to get through. So basically that's it. We're just going to do the last two here. And let's see, the flower one goes up here. And then we will be ready. And all I'm doing here, I'm just turning the tines so that they don't go up into my pearls. I don't know, can you guys see? I put holes on each side of the trim, and then I stitched in each hole, and I put a pearl on each one. And it is just beautiful. I just love it. It was a little time consuming, but I think totally worth it, just for a different look. And okay, guys, before it shuts off on me, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like what's going on, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, guys, I never turned my mic on. Plugged it in, never turned it on, didn't even have it on. So clipped onto me. Yeah, it was bad. So anyway, I'm sorry. These two pieces of paper that I am using, which are exactly the same, I cut them at the same time so that I know that they're both the same height. I took a 1/4 inch score tape and I seamed the two of them together. I am going to have this roll around the edge of my book, so it'll come onto the inside front cover and the inside back cover. So I left myself about 3/4 of an inch, and I cut off the rest that I didn't need because I wanted this seam to be on my spine. If had I not, the seam would have been back here somewhere, and I wouldn't have had, I didn't have any plans to be covering that area with anything. So, so that's that. I am still letting it dry. I just glued. I did not use double-sided tape. I figured since I'm wrapping it around on both sides that, you know, I think the glue was fine. But I am having to wait longer because I did use quite a bit of glue. But you can do glue or, you know, your double-sided tape or both. So, yeah, so I'm just letting that dry. While I'm going to let that dry, I'm not going to open it up or anything until I know it's dried. I did try the other glue tip that you get with this Barely Art glue. And I would think that this long shaft would lead to a thinner hole than the first piece, because then you could get into tinier spots and stuff, but it's not. It's wider and you get a lot more glue out of it. So don't know, because I can just take the tips off and get a lot of glue. I think they missed the mark on this one. I don't know. Maybe you guys have used it differently and have a different thought on that. But I would have thought, I'm trying to figure out where I put my pen. I would have thought that this would be even more tiny of a hole for like putting on stencils and stuff. So I don't know. I was going to use the pen to get the glue out because I'm going to switch back to my other one. And of course, I don't have any wipies around here. I'm looking, don't see nothing, honey. But anyway, so that's what this one does. It gives you more glue. I'm a little disappointed with that. So, but I do like that these actually glue in instead of just kind of, you know, with this one, you just kind of press down and twist and hope it doesn't blow out on you. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to put this other tip back on. And I don't know what I've done with my pin. I thought I had put it over in my little compartment over here, but I didn't. All right. Okay. Glue on my fingers. Oh, I just love this thing, guys. I use it. The more I use it, the more I want to use it. And it just pops. This just pulls off, and then you have a little tray in there, and you dump it. Voila! Okay, now, one thing that we are going to have to work on are the tags. So I still have this for tags, those few there. I have one more of this extremely bright yellow for tags, and let's see, that I thought I had another one that I could use in the blue, but and I have one sheet of the blue. But as you guys well know, I need 12 tags. And so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I wonder if there's a way that I can get more than 2 out of this paper. Because that's only 11. Yeah, so no. So I'm going to need one more. Wowza. Wowza. I don't know that I have any more of this white linen. So I am going to check on that, guys, and I will be back momentarily. I actually found 2 more. Sorry, putting white on the screen. It doesn't like to accommodate. All right, so all of these are 5 by 8.5. It's not so important with the 8.5. I believe I can go ahead and open this. What I'm looking for is how well it's actually sticking to the sides of the book. And it is still having a little bit of an issue with that. Now it is going to be covered, but I still want it to do the right thing. I'm going to flip it around this way. Okay. All right. So, oh, I do have some in here, so I don't have to cut that many. Let's see. Well, there was one. Do I have any more? And another one. And another one. Okay. So let's see now how many I have. But of course you can do these in any color you want. I have 1, 2, 3 blue ones and 3 yellow ones. So then I can have 5 blue, 5 yellow, and 2 white. That is, I mean, 5 blue, 5 yellow, and 2 white. Yeah, so that would be, and then find my little papers. Find my little papers. We're going to be using these on them. I had you guys all save these. These are the ones that came off of the main envelopes right here when we cut those out. So you have your paper and your blue edge. All right. So then you just need to figure out what color you're going to want in this first one. And quite honestly, I think white would work just fine. And then, do you want to have the same pattern here, or do you want to have a different pattern? So then you're just going to have to work that out for yourself as well. I think I would like to have the same pattern, and if I do, I think I would do it on blue. But let me find, it's probably the first one, to be honest with you. No, it wasn't. I must have, there it is. So, I think by doing that, how cool is that? So we're not going to need them at 8.5 inches. That is what was trying to get to. So that is all the way down, and I want this to sit just about here. So it's just another interest. Boom, you know? And then you can grab that and pull it out. So that is where I want that. See, but you can choose. You can choose anything, any situation. And actually, I don't know, with the blue. Let's see. I probably should have cut some of these with the yellow. Let's see this yellow. Okay, now remember, you won't see this. This part will be blue. So, yeah, so you just have to figure out where you're going to want it and what color. And I think I'm going to try white. I do believe I'm going to try white. But anyway, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to push my my tag all the way down. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to want this. I'm going to then glue it on. And I'm going to cut right across the top, cut that piece off, okay? And then put them back in there. And that is going to be all I'm doing on the tag. You will have place for pictures and journaling on both the front and the back. It's just going to be this. I think that makes it busy enough. And if you don't want to put it on white, remember I had you save these as well. You can take a layer of this with your white. Put it on your blue. And then you have that, which is really pretty. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Now, I would definitely want to try and match the amount of white that is showing. But anyway, yeah. So, good. That's what we're going to do. So, I think I will use blue for this. Okay. All right, so we just need 12 of those. I would definitely kind of measure each one because we didn't actually put glue across the bottom, but if you didn't get, you know, you might just, maybe you got some glue somewhere. You might just want to check them or just do all 12 and stick them in. And then if you need to take off a little bit more, take off a little bit more. If you start with it around 8 inches, just do it at the top and then you'll be able to cut off whatever you don't want. And so I think that's what I will end up doing here. I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. And that's about what I left of the white. And then put this one on. It actually feels pretty funny not inking my sides, but that's one nice thing about working with white is I don't feel you have to ink your sides. You still can. Absolutely. But you don't have to because the white core, the white paper, it all kind of blends. All right. So there is my first one ready. Excuse me. And yes, I know I have 2 of them. So we can just kind of, if you don't want to damage that, so you have another one for the ready for something else. Then let's just cut right across. Come on. Right across the top here. And then we're going to center this. See where about that goes. Now you can choose to just put glue across the top. Okay, I see where that's going to go. Like this, so that you can then put pictures up underneath it. That would give you definitely some more room. Okay. And then we're just going to cut off this part. I'm going to lay this I'm going to take off a good 1/2 inch and we'll see where we're at. Because this, remember, was an 8.5, so. And then you just figure out, is that close enough? Do you like that? I think I want it a little closer. So we'll just take off about 1/4 inch more. So now mine are 7 3/4. Still great size for pictures and leaves you with that space. And there it is. I love it. Very nice. And you'll be able to slide your 4x6 pictures, or even 5x7. You would be able to get a 5x7 on here as well. And loads of room for journaling as well. So now we're just going to do that with all of the rest of these. And then I will do the front and back cover. We can go ahead. Start maneuvering this around. I think I'm going to need to get a little bit of glue. That's pretty tight there. So we have that down. Then I'm going to put some glue right on the edge of the book itself, so that there's something for it to get glued to. And then just put glue on your paper. Again, you can use your double-sided, but probably should. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to start. Give it a nice bending. There we go. Kind of start in the center and then just keep pushing out. Be careful that you don't get glue on your fingers and then bring it back up onto your paper if you have some that's. And then while the glue is still wet, you want to gently rub on the top of your chipboard piece, and it'll give you a nice squared piece, and that will glue that paper down to the end of that chipboard. makes it really nice and crisp looking album. Okay, so there's side one done. Front side. All right, and then we got to do back here. I was going to get my craft knife and cut it, but I think I will just wing it. Yep. Not really straight, but that's okay. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that it is glued down, and it is much better than the other one. I think I'm going to try and catch these little bits of yarn twine that was left from gluing on the pearls. Putting this on the edge. All right. So I'm putting the spine against my table so I have something to push on. And we're just making sure that I'm working with the tightest part, you know, that I've gotten it all pulled around. Okay, so start on your center and push down. Again, watch you don't pick up glue. Okay, and then gently on the top. Oops, let me pick up this piece of tape here. And I didn't ever burnish this side. Okay, so there's that. Then I have pulled out this yellow. Now this is Maya Rhodes crocheted. They called it tan. It's yellow. It says tan right on the bolt. No, it's yellow. There ain't no tan to this. This is yellow. Yellow tan, if they want to call it that. They could, I guess, but it's yellow. Excuse me. Allergies. And then this is about the only lace that I had that was even remotely close to the colors of this book. So we're going to try it anyway. And I'm going to start in the center with this yellow that I have. And it does go to the end of the page. And I've already cut it to size, I believe. So I am going to actually pull this one down a little bit. A little bit back up. I want to get about halfway. No, I didn't cut it to size yet. Oh, well, that's okay. My fingers are sticking. There we go. Let me get my better scissors and cut this. Huh. Can I stretch it a little bit? I hate cutting it in between. Okay, so there we go. Okay, there's that half. And let's go ahead and get this one cut. See if that's a good spot. Yes. All right. I want to butt these up so that there's no gap. Okay. And then just butt these right up. Now this one's, start it right there. Sometimes I'll give these, I didn't this one, but sometimes if I think about it ahead of time, I will get an iron out and just give them a quick iron so that I don't have to worry about it being pulled this way or, folding this way all by itself. But I did not, and you don't have to. It just would be a little more time consuming. But I want this to look nice, so it's worth the work. There, the rest of it's doing pretty well, all on its lonesome. All right. Now I'm going to let this solidly dry until we start pulling this around. Because I will pull these over the edge and glue them down. So then what I was planning on doing with this was just kind of placing it down the center. I think I like getting the whole flowers in there. So I'm going to cut this right here. Not weird. I can cut lace straight. I can't cut paper straight. Okay, a little bit more off. Get to the top of that flower, I think. All right. Still needs a titch more, so I think I'm gonna, whoops, stay book. There we go. I think I'm gonna just take it off the bottom a little bit. There we go. You just keep inching it until you get it down where you want it. And I think that's going to be really pretty. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some glue to this. I'm just getting it on some of the spots that I'm trying to keep it off of just the sheer, because it's almost like just tulle. So I'm trying to keep it off of there. I'm putting it on the flowers and around the scalloped edges where there's a little bit more going on. But this is so pretty. Stay. My book's starting to slide. You stay. Okay. All right, let's see how well that is going to work for us. Get it in the center. Okay, a piece of release paper. I stuck this up here so I took the sticky part, all the sticky part off of a piece of release paper. When you have stuff that it's sticking on your hands more than you want to get a piece of release paper. You know, the paper that's on the back of stickers. And then you can get things pushed down and that glue worked around. So always save this stuff. This was from little sticker sheets, little return address labels. But always save this stuff because you can use it for so many things. So there we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty darn good. So guys, I am going to finish up with I'm going to let this dry before I pull my sides down and see if there's anything else that I want to do spine-wise. And I'm going to finish up all of my tags. And so we'll have all 12 of those done when I come back, and I'll just flip through them, show it to you. Okay, guys, back in a minute.